Good afternoon, people. Good afternoon if you're in Melbourne, Australia. Good night if wherever you are around the world. It could be, I think it could be quite late, everyone that's in the US. And good morning if you're getting up. How are we all going? Getting the money consciousness happening today. And it's so relevant in the world right now. As we're just getting a few more people, they're asking me, Lee, when is your live stream on? And it's right now. Cool, just getting back to these. MK Rod, good to have you on. Alright, just while we're waiting for everyone to get on. I'm sounding like one of those news presenters today. Well, people, you know, one of those radio voices? I must be listening to myself too much. So, let's just get a pen and paper while everyone is going to be rocking this on and we'll get it happening. Alright, so everyone is getting up and let's get this rocking and rolling. So, how are we all going? So what I want to tell you, Alan, how are you, bro? Absolutely loving your growth, your recovery. I love it. Decide and commit and recover. That is perfect. One of the leadership models that I teach. So what I'm going to rock out today, and I really want you guys to be able to share this around. Tash, good to have you on. And this is something which is massive, yeah? And look, everyone teaches everything differently. Everyone teaches consciousness differently. Everyone teaches, you know, it's their model of the world. So you're always going to have a different, you know, a different look at different things. So what I want to talk about is I like to talk about and lead how I get the result, yeah? And how I've not attempted, how I've given things a great go and they've given me the result or not result, okay? So money consciousness is a number of different things, yeah? Everyone likes to use this word consciousness. I've got fluff on my head. Sorry, I had this hoodie on and it's brand new and, you know, when you get all the fluff, because I'm like a cactus at the moment. And they like to use this word, new consciousness this, new consciousness that, conscious, but consciously they aren't really living or what that consciousness is. So, you know, a simple thing, if we want to fast forward to the end of this live stream, consciousness in obviously money consciousness. How do you think you'd get money consciousness? You'd be around people that have had the consciousness, firstly, to give you that, to get you the result. So be around people with abundance, rich people, great business people, because they have the consciousness, firstly, of how to understand, how to breathe, how to operate. Coco, how are you, my sister? So they will give you that understanding. Be around people that have the consciousness, the identity, the energy, the action, the character, the absolutely everything. And then you will start to breathe, you have the consciousness, you will start to have that awareness, and things will really start to get rocking forward. That's a simple philosophy, yeah? Be around successful people, be around people that know how to make money, have the consciousness, have the business, have the interaction. You give energy, they give out energy, yeah? And that's simply what it is. So another thing as well, you know, I've been doing Bob Proctor's, a lot of the, you know, really getting a lot of stuff out there and, you know, having that leverage point, being able to have 7 different income streams. Each income stream only needs to make $148,000 a year. Times 7, you make $1 million, okay? That's a different type of consciousness. So if we're talking about energy, so if you know what these things are, yeah, they're called crystals. These are transporters. These are information, yeah. These hold information. They hold memories. They're a transporter. They're like a radio. They're a transmitter. Better English, transmitter. So I've got my big book of stones here. And I always read it. And the first one we're going to be talking about is citrine. Yeah, citrine. Citrine is an amazing stone, which I'll just read a little bit about it. Manifestation, personal will, mental clarity, and creativity. Yeah. So if we're talking about abundance, if we're talking about, you know, getting things done, manifestation, then citrine is absolutely great. They cleanse your soul. That's exactly right. And I have my very powerful Moldavite. If anyone knows what Moldavite is, in an activation stone, and I brought my partner for our first year anniversary, a very, very rare piece of Moldavite set on Herkimer diamonds and silver, I think it was silver quartz, which is an activator, yeah? So this is a different sort of consciousness. So abundance, you keep your citrine. So now the second one I want to show you, this is even a crystal that I really didn't even hear of, is cinnabar. So if anyone looks at that, cinnabar, yeah? So cinnabar is, again, it's alchemy, magic, transformation, insight, manifestational, wealth, mental, and agility, yeah? And it's also a fire element. So going from there, so obviously citrine and cinnabar. Then the one to top it off, which is a really raw piece where I got, is from, this is actually, I'm going to make sure I say it right, so I'm not going to guess. It's a sunstone. Let me have a look. Yes, a sunstone. So this one was actually a really raw piece because these were actually found in a monastery, and they talk about leadership, benevolence, strength, abundance and blessing, enlightenment, male energy, and again, it's a fire element, yeah? So putting all those together is citrine, they're all fire elements. So there you go, I didn't know that. So your citrine, cinnabar, and then you've got obviously your sunstone. These are all fire elements. So I keep them on me. I got these where I went on my little getaway, and something that I love the Moldavite, such a powerful crystal. Yes. And this is abundance. You can keep it in your pocket. You can keep it, keep them anywhere. And the big one, what you need to understand to top all these off is called Moldavite. No, not Moldavite. Moldavite is the activation, but it's pyrite, yeah? So pyrite is a big chunk of pyrite, what I've got here. It's something that is a very, very powerful, it's a doing stone. It's very masculine. So when I was running my just pure masculine retreats, and to top this off, if you want some Moldavite, 25 kilos, not Moldavite, of my pyrite. See, the Moldavite just wants to talk about it. So I keep this with me everywhere I go. So that is a consciousness of having an understanding of that, yeah? So look, that's the spiritual, that's the crystals. I like to teach in all different ways because we want to have a different awareness of what we're doing. So remember, citrine, cinnabar, and sunstone, yeah? And then you've got the big big pyrite, and Moldavite is an activation. So let's talk about money consciousness. As I said, I'm going to teach in the spiritual way. I'm going to use obviously these transporters and these understandings of crystals, but I'm also going to teach you in a business perspective and in a in a different way, because I want to be able to keep everyone's attention. Everyone's going, what's he talking about crystals? Blah, 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 and all that stuff and so on and so forth. Boom. So money consciousness, firstly, again, like I said, and I started this and I'll end this live stream, is that you want to be around people that understand how to make money, how they be able to communicate, what energy do they put into the world, what energy don't they put into the world, and having that interaction, business people that you can align with. Okay. Another thing. To have money consciousness, to have any sort of consciousness, you need to understand and be in a great mood and understand there is abundance everywhere. Like what I put here, every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. I am a master of my life. I have a perfect health, perfect body. I love and appreciate myself just the way I am. I have unbreakable confidence in myself. I enjoy relaxing and having fun. I choose to be happy right now. It's okay to have, to have anything that I want. I know that the universe loves and supports me. I am open to receiving all blessings from the universe. The more I have, the more I can give. I always have more enough money. My mind is finally tuned to attracting massive wealth. Under grace, it's always perfect. Money flows to me easily and generously. I am a money magnet. I am thankful for abundance in my life. That's how you have to roll. You just don't read that. You could see how I was connecting with that. So you're understanding you need to be open to abundance. You need to be ready to go. Hey, how you going? There you go, Gary. I know, but obviously, mate, you're my good friend and my private client, and I know this was going to be perfect to you. What did Coco say? You should look at the red and yellow jasper. It helps the subconscious communicate with consciousness and dream state. Yes, I have the jaspers here somewhere. I've got a whole, if I do shift my camera, I've got a whole different things here. Obviously, you've got the rose quartz to open up your heart, and I keep these two big boys. So we've got the masculine and feminine right there. And there we go. Awesome. So, hey, Eleni, how are you, my sister? And Gary, you'll absolutely love this as well. And something else which is a little bit on, which is very rare. This is called Gibbston meteorite. If you can see that, it's actually one of the most purest irons, and it's actually, I think, 18 million years. It's actually out of a Material can do anything. I don't like what I'm hearing, bro. Material can't do anything. Jesus is the way. Yeah, look, that's everyone else's opinion. You know, material can't do anything. Jesus, energy. It's all about energy. So that's what we're about here. You know, look, everyone has different beliefs, and you know, you need to respect them as long as different beliefs aren't hurting anybody. You know, Jesus is an energy force. You know, God is an energy force. It's a unit. You know, it's the source. So whatever we name it, or whatever we resemble it, as long as it works for you, as long as it works for me, that's what we're talking about. So what I like to teach is that money consciousness is, I don't like to call it money, yeah? So I like to call it, in a way, it's not money, it's energy, but the way we call it is currency. It's you know, it's having that energy exchange. Because I know people's model of the world, their limiting beliefs, their scarcity mindset. When they say money's evil. Money's the root of all evil. And you know, people that have money, they're bad people. That's okay, because that's what your model of the world is. But you know, it's not right for everyone. But we want to talk about it as energy. Yeah. So the more we can attract this energy and so on and so forth, and that. Ashley goes, of course, I respect everyone's belief. I just agree attracting myself to materialistic things. No need. These aren't materialistic things, brother. Just hold on and listen to what I'm talking about. This is energy. So money is not, I haven't said, well, let's get a car, let's get a boat, let's get a this. This is about money consciousness. So please get it right, because you're way off at the moment. But I respect your model of the world. So it's about energy. So energy is understanding that, unfortunately, people that created money because of bartering, and then they said, oh, cool, let's have a dollar bill. And then all of a sudden, these greedy people have come to control, and they're called money. And there's actually these banks and the money that's floating around that these banks, it actually doesn't believe anyone. But let's get back to energy. So the more energy you can put into someone's life that gives them a better life, gives them an answer, improves their life, any value at all, it's a self-worth thing as well. That you know that you have that consciousness of understanding that you are improving people's lives. They give you that interaction. But unfortunately as well, what we need to understand, that the way our world is being set up, you need to put food on the table. You need to have that. Not saying let's go and chase riches. It's all about, you know, everyone's different, yeah. But in my model of the world, it's all about being able to get your message out and have that abundance of that money consciousness, of being of value. And this is what it's about. I would prefer to, instead of me sitting here in front of a few hundred people, I prefer to be on a stage and get my value out to 50,000 people, yeah? That is a source of money consciousness, because get rid of the word money, put value consciousness, yeah? Because when we hear money, limiting beliefs, because you don't have enough of it. And let's be honest, people that don't have money or money consciousness will always say, I don't want money, I don't need it, so on and so forth. But you know what? If I said, here is $1 million of consciousness, of energy, you will take it. Yeah, straight up and straight out. It's people that don't have it and they don't want it. Not saying that you need to be vindictive. If you're changing people's lives and improving their lives, adding massive value, then fantastic. There are a lot of people out there, drug dealers, bad business people, crooks and the rest of it. We know that are creating that money all for the wrong reasons. And we know that's not great. I understand 100%. But what I want to tell you is, let's call it value consciousness. Yeah, let's call it, you know, being the best version of you. Because what I say, I want you all to understand this as well, and you too, Ashley. What about my dying uncle? My dying uncle believed in Jesus, believed in God, believed in that. I want to ask you something. He was very religious, prayed every day. He didn't have enough money consciousness. He didn't have enough money awareness, value exchange, so he could not afford to have the drugs to save him. He would pray, he would do that, his will, and it gave him another few years, yeah? To the point he said, well, this is not happening. He lost his will, he lost his way, and so on and so forth. But because he didn't have that money consciousness, or he wasn't able to pay people to have the right drugs to fight his cancer, he lost his money consciousness, he lost his will, and he lost his life. Okay, so I understand where you're coming from, but let's not be opinionated. Let's be open to this. We haven't said, hey guys, I'm going to teach you how to make $1 million, and we're going to buy beautiful Ferraris, and we're going to buy boats and jet skis, and we're going to be living on top of mountains and all that shit. I did not say that. All I'm talking about is understanding consciousness, and let's get away from the word money, but if I'm giving you a relevance point here, okay? So let's even talk about consciousness of health. Yep. God meets you halfway and you have to do the work. And that's what it is. I'm not religious, but I'm driven by an energy. I'm driven by a source. I believe in a source. I believe in a universe. If it's God, you call it God. If it's Allah, you call it Allah. If you call it, Jehovah's, you call it that. Whatever it needs to be. Whatever it is to you, fantastic. Just keep that with you though, okay? We don't need to be pushing it on because then people will be going blah, 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 yeah? And I do believe that whatever we believe in, whatever we're putting our hands together or doing that, as long as we are having a consciousness of energy that's driving us to be a better person. Cool? Got it. So, firstly, it's like anything. If you want to be healthy, and want a consciousness of being healthy, then you be around people that are healthy, people that get up and exercise, people that put good food in their mouths, people that believe and, they look after their temple. Tyler Tolman, yeah? All these other health people, athletes, so on and so forth. That is a consciousness. But why I'm talking about value consciousness today, because of many other reasons, because this is the secret. And I wasn't going to let you know. Value consciousness is all about you valuing yourself. That's what it's about. And many people in this world, put your hand up if you agree, they don't value themselves enough to have a value exchange. So they put themselves in a JOB, yeah? So that's what we're talking about. You put yourself in a JOB, which your value is dictated by someone that doesn't know nothing about you. Martina, my sister, looking forward to seeing you on the weekend. Money has such a negative vibe because of what others have done for it, but we can change the view and educate their view. Exactly. And that's what it is, that I know, me working and dealing and speaking and being around so many different people, I understand that it's that, if you're vindictive, and I've had some very interesting conversations with some coaches that are building broken people with broken beliefs and a dishonesty because they want to have significance in the world by becoming millionaires. Yeah? And these people are broken. These people don't want to help anyone. These people want to buy nice sunglasses and buy nice cars and all that for the wrong reasons. 100% agree. Take out money. People that struggle with money and abundance have these values and beliefs that isn't valuing them. And guess what? Because you don't value that, you don't value yourself. So this is all about you, okay? A magician should not give away his secrets, and I just did. I had to burst the bubble. When I say money consciousness, if you don't value yourself, if you don't keep getting your energy out, if you don't get your energy and so on and so forth, they end up alone too. That's very true. If you don't value your worth, if you don't value your gifts, you will never ever have that inner relationship, in good health, in growing yourself, in any sort of income, with being able to hold a conversation in a group of people, be able to have any sort of contribution in this world. And that's what it's about. It all starts from that. So what you need to be in and what you need to understand is we are going to be going very, very deep into having that understanding of everything. So you need to have a consciousness. Let me have a look. Makes me sick seeing they play out. Awesome. Loving the contribution, guys. Perfect. Makes me sick seeing them play out with coaches and mentors, especially addiction and recovery. Yes, 100%. It all starts and ends with yourself. Love it. You guys are rocking it. Your worth is priceless. And that's right. So, with everything that you all said then, Alan, Theta, and Coco, you're cuckoo, Coco. I've said that so many times on the weekend. Love it. I'm loving the new you as well. So, what's amazing is that that's what you need to understand. By you getting better of getting your worth out, which is priceless to the world, adding value, the better you get at being you, the better you get at being able to improve other people's lives. And that's simply what it is. The better you get at being you and being able to exchange that. But let's look, we did not make the world the rules that, okay, let's be honest, we can sit there and say, I don't want any money consciousness, I don't want money, and we can be poor. And then what else happens? We're struggling to eat. So limiting beliefs, we're struggling to grow and educate, we're going from each, do you know what I'm saying? We're bouncing around and it creates more stress. So how can you be a better version of yourself Money doesn't create happiness or this consciousness. What it does is allow you to live a life and taste the life and live and breathe without the headaches, yeah? You have to put food on the table. Why not put some good food on the table? You have to be able to have a roof over your head. Don't go crazy about it, but it wouldn't be something that grows you into a better person for the right stimulation, for the right motivators. Yes. It gives you that understanding to have more power to express yourself and experience greater things in life. Yeah? Not saying that it makes you happy, no way. There's a balance. But what I'm going to tell you again, like I said at the start, the middle, and at the end, I will say this is not about money consciousness. I tricked you. This is about your value consciousness, okay? So think about this. I said to you at the start that if you want to know money consciousness and success consciousness, then go and be around businessmen. Go and be around people that are having that, but the same business that you can actually align with. Yeah? Don't be around people that are in a business that you don't have any interest for because you're making money. No, that's against my integrity and that's against how I teach. Be around people that have the consciousness that are putting massive value into people's lives that you have the connection with. Yeah? And that's what it's about, having that awareness of knowing who you want to be and why you want to do it. Because people, and I understand what everyone was saying, is that, okay, let's go and sell furniture, but I fucking hate furniture because I'm just going to do it for money. That is not money consciousness. That is being a robot and doing something which doesn't make you into a better person because you just want to make that. Do you know what I'm saying? What about people go, oh, but how can I love what I do, make me into a better person, improve other people's lives, and at the same time have an income for it? Of course you can. It's because people have that wrong frame of mind. They lose themselves in activity called a job, a journey of bankruptcy, or just over broke, over somewhere where people will dictate your worth. Okay, you're worth $30 an hour. Don't you think that drops your consciousness? Don't you think that drops your value consciousness? Of course it does. Of course it does. People say, but I don't have what it takes to help people. I don't have what it takes to be a public speaker. I don't have what it takes to give back to the world. If you keep saying that, that's all that you're going to get. So let someone dictate your worth. Let someone dictate your value. And then your value consciousness is going to be low. And this, my friends, is where addiction, this is where limiting beliefs arise. This is where depression comes from. Downward spirals of shit thinking, as Elaine says. And this is where suicide comes from. Yeah, because the biggest depression and suicide rate is in employment. Yeah? And for males. As long as, it's the biggest killer of males is suicide and heart disease. I never used to value the energy exchange, but doing work on me, I now understand the importance of valuing me. And that's what it comes down to. If you don't value yourself, you won't value anyone. And look, if you want to have a simple thing about exchange and you want to be successful, this is it. Keep it simple. The better you get at being you, of having value, having knowledge, water your mind to feed the soul. But the better you get at getting it out to people, letting people know what you can do and letting people get the results for people and leverage that, you're going to have everything you want. But 80% of your value consciousness or money consciousness is for free. Not the other way around. You are giving your value as a leader, as a mentor, as a business person, because that's what it's about. You're not in it. If you were in it to make money, then it would be the other way around. 20% for free, 80% is what people have to be charged. But if you're here to help others to be able to put value in their lives, then that's what you're doing, that the majority of your activity is giving that, yeah? And then if people want to go on from that and they need to value it, because this is another thing you need to think about as well. Money consciousness and valuing consciousness is a big understanding of what you need to do and it comes down to you. If people aren't respecting you for what you do, you will eventually won't respect yourself because you're giving and you're not getting anything back because it's a two ways, but you give 80%, you get 20 back. For some people, they want it the other way. I'm only going to give 20 and I want 80 back. It doesn't work that way. Coco goes, when you're loving yourself and respecting yourself, everything will come to you naturally. And that's what it's about, people. Remember what I said on the post about feeling and believing, knowing who you want to be and how you're going to get it. And that's what you need to understand, that you need to be around, firstly, people that have the consciousness that is, firstly, getting the exchange of who you are. If you are doing a 9-to-5 job, you actually switch off your consciousness because you become a robot in autopilot. Do this, do that, it's the same thing. Yeah, and then you want a pay rise, and then it's just like, oh, it's so hard to get a pay rise because your boss's consciousness is saying, well, why should I give them a pay rise? You know, I'm not seeing them in any better light. I'm not seeing them in a higher perspective. I'm not seeing my value consciousness of these people isn't high enough, so why should I give them a pay rise? Yeah, you do not need to think. You don't need to grow. You know how I was talking yesterday about being an edge walker? Doing that, you're not an edge walker. Creating your own business, creating your own empire, that's being an edge walker, expanding every day. Yeah, and that's the main thing about it. Understanding, having that consciousness of knowing who you want to be. And that's the same thing as well. So if you're a business person, yeah, and you've got, and you're quoting jobs and the rest of that, how would you have a more of a value consciousness, or how would you have that money consciousness? What it comes down to as well is, okay, how are you going to get your service and product out to more people? How can you keep getting better? How can you finally tune your service? And that's what it's about, getting better about doing that. Because look, yes, there's vibrational marketing and there's marketing. Marketing of, look, this is where I am, blah, blah, blah. Or vibrational marketing is something that I could even be doing now. You could be talking about what you're doing and you're having that vibration, bringing people's vibration up. And I'll tell you what, this is not what I'm doing today. Is, hey guys, look about me. But if you find value in what I'm doing, then fantastic. And that's how you need to show up to the world. Not, well, look at me. I'm about to do a video and I'm going to have 20 takes on this video and I'm reading from a script and I've got my makeup on and I've got lighting and that's what it's about. No, it's about being real. It's about showing up every day because you know what, people, we don't want to be polished and we never will be. Alan goes, if you can give 100% in videos, etc., most will never use the value given to get a full breakthrough. I love the vibrational marketing. Exactly. And that's what it's about. You showing up being who you are. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, it's very daunting as well, and it doesn't work out. And you see that you need to firstly understand if you're talking about, if you're wanting any value, it doesn't need to even be value consciousness, or for the words that you guys like to use, money, it's an interaction. You need to know that you're worthy. You need to know that you're deserving. So if you're in a shit mood or you're feeling down, you think that you're telling the world or telling the universe maybe a mixed message that you deserve something? Of course not. You're saying, well, I don't deserve this, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. And it's 100% that, you know what I'm saying? It's like, well, you know what, I'm feeling down and I'm just going to get there. So why would the universe or why would anyone else find that you're valued? Because if you don't value yourself, yeah? If you're letting someone abuse you, if you're letting someone talk down to you, if you're getting these thoughts, this is the thing I'm going to teach you as well. I've been doing some study about, and I'm reading a really good book. One thing I said yesterday, I'm going to say in a lot of my live streams, is your brain is a liar. Yeah, your brain is a liar. This is why. Because what your brain is there to do, it doesn't do it on purpose, but it is a filing system. It is a filing cabinet. So if something comes up which you can relate to in the past, your brain will go, oh, okay, look, from my recollection or that, I remember that time when I attempted to do something and didn't fail. So, I'm going to bring that memory up. So then you bring that memory up and you create thoughts of that past experience of something that you just experienced. Then your emotions is just a protector. Your emotions is a protection mechanism. Okay, I better feel a certain way for this. Am I feeling good or am I feeling bad? Okay, I remember, okay, geez, this is not good. So we need to make sure that Lee feels bad about it. Hey, Auntie, how are you, brother? Let's make sure that Lee feels bad about it because we don't want him to do it again. So what happens is your mind that has a representation of something that came up and all it is a representation that doesn't serve them will pop up. You will think of a bad thought. And then what happens is you start, hey, uncle, how are you? Good to have you on. And then you start to think, Tyler, how are you, my bro? Then you start to think of these thoughts and you go, oh, I'm a loser. I'm a loser because I remember that time that I did this and I didn't get the result. And now I'm feeling like a loser. And I'm remembering that I'm a loser. Okay, so I am a loser. Not quite true and not correct at all. What you need to understand is your thoughts isn't your identity. Your thoughts isn't your end goal. Your thoughts is just something that pops up from your mind that unstores something from the filing cabinet that goes, hey, do you remember that something like this popped up? And then, okay, I remember this is simple. So yes, I'm going to give you a memory. And so then your defense mechanism, which is your emotions, will go, hold on a second. I'm going to make sure that he feels not right for this. So then he doesn't do it. So you start to feel, and then you go, oh my God, I remembered. And then you have the thoughts, I remembered. I fucked up. I was no good. And then you start to go, oh, I'm a loser. That's my identity. Not quite right. The reason why I'm telling you this is self-sabotage. This is why people will want to fail. This is why people do fail. You need to understand. Oh, hey, Kerry said good day to you. How's it going, man? Much love and respect to you both. My beautiful uncle there. Mwah. And his good mate, Kerry. So, this is another thing you need to understand. For you having an understanding of widening your consciousness to be able to bring more money in, then you need to be able to give more value to someone else, or it's an exchange of a service. And I'll be honest, if you're exchanging this crystal for this crystal and it doesn't have any significant emotional connection and you're just exchanging that, then that doesn't really expand your consciousness. You have the consciousness of exchange. Okay, citrine for the sunstone. Okay, cool. We know that this is a citrine, have different properties. This is a sunstone. And all my consciousness is, okay, different stones. Okay, the exchange. All right, the value's different, yeah? But do you think that that would make me into a better leader or expand my value consciousness? Not really. Not really, because I'm talking about value exchange. Yes, there's value in this and there's value in that as well. Let's exchange the value. So what I'm talking about, how can you have a higher purpose of you becoming a great human being, of having something what the world needs? Yeah? Hey, Elena, good to have you on, my sister, absolute rock star, and she knows. All right, we're back. Someone just called me. Give me 2 seconds. Someone is calling me. So I'm going to tell him just 2 seconds. So he doesn't call again. Cool. Funny, just what I wanted to teach. I'll listen to it now. Awesome. So, and this is a really big thing as well, that you need to get, because there's a lot of people that can do the same thing, but you need to have that expansion of who you are and where you want to go. It's very, very important that it's having that transformation. Atlanta, you need to go to the start of this, because you would have you missed some crackers. And okay. All right, firstly, what can I get better at? And sometimes people say, I'm too old to start a business, or I'm too dumb. I don't have enough energy. Well, if you think of that, your consciousness is, you're looking at the world, your consciousness is through the pin, ahead of a pin. What you need to start believing is that most of very successful, rich, abundant, higher consciousness people aren't necessarily so smart, yeah? And so what you need to understand is that you'll have this, really, this really big understanding of who you are and who you want. It's going to be huge, because if you don't know of obviously what you're worth, and that's what this is about. This is an exchange of value. This is an exchange of having that, okay, cool. So who's got a consciousness that might have an understanding of putting value into it? So you see people that have been through hell and back, yeah? The greatest coaches or the greatest influencers or the greatest people which influence people are people that have discovered, saved their life, people that have beaten cancer, people that have beaten suicide, people that have beaten, a traumatic time. That is priceless. So then you can keep going back and hold on to that. Say, hey, I've beaten a drug addiction. I've beaten this and I've beaten that. Because let's be honest as well. I see a lot of people that are showing up that haven't even been through something, and that they're saying, okay, let's be very strategic. Let's be very mindful. What are people wanting? They want to know about relationship. They want to know about sex. They want to know about this. So, okay, I'll read a book, do a course, and I'll regurgitate information to them. I'm like, no, hold on a minute. That isn't consciousness. That is called Band-Aid. Band-Aid consciousness, yeah? You want to understand and teach people where they've gone, because there are a lot of people that don't have a consciousness, that don't have that worth, and that's what it's about, building people's value up, creating leaders to lead others, and that's exactly what we do. So getting people's value consciousness so high that they will want to move out of a job because they know they're worth more, or they will want to move out of a relationship because they deserve better, or they will want to move out of something or look for something else because they have a higher consciousness of who they are. And that's where it comes down to. If you don't have that value exchange or that consciousness, that you are just going to stay in that job, you're going to stay in that partner, you're going to stay in that area, and that's all you're going to do. So what I say to you and how I can help you with this is understanding, okay, Firstly, understanding your worth and constantly expanding your worth from the inside out, and honestly, like an antenna. And that's what it is. Because you know when you're not valuing yourself or you don't have a value consciousness, you attract people that don't value, because you are. You are like an antenna. You're exactly like, you're like these crystals. You're a transporter, and that's exactly what it's about. You're a radio, transducer. That's what you're doing, and you need to understand that. Your thoughts aren't your identity, yeah? Your feelings aren't exactly your guide. They are a defense mechanism, and your thoughts is just an understanding of preconditioned thoughts and memories, but it isn't who you are now. You can just change it like that. And unfortunately, we stay in a state with these thoughts and feelings, and you don't need that. So that's why I always say when we do the identity creation, we do success priming, you're changing your thoughts up, you're putting in your mind what you want. Because unfortunately, we are programmed, and the way we are now is from all this past programming. True, it is. It's all this past programming. So if we aren't constantly, reprogramming our mind, shifting direction, changing the frequency on the radio because it's the wrong radio station, we're going to be transmitting and emitting the wrong frequency and vibration. So firstly, understanding your worth to be able to create what you want. Then you want to be able to skip the path and be around people that have that consciousness. Firstly, you need to be deserving and have and understand there is abundance everywhere. There's energy everywhere. But where people go wrong is understanding how you can create systems and strategies of being able to put value into people's life. This is just me. I put 80% of my service and value into people's lives, and then the 20%, because that shows the true leader I am and that's exactly what I'm about. That I want to put value into people's lives, and then if they want to be able to have that return, okay, then there's other means, because you can't do everything for free, because then I wouldn't value myself and you couldn't be operational. The money does make the world go around, and so on and so forth. And people know that. People will know when you're here to congruently wanting to help them and you have massive value, and they're just like, fuck, you know what I'm saying? This is what I'm about. That's what I want. I want to be around people like that. And that's exactly what it is. And I'll tell you guys, my beautiful sister, Eleni, and I've given her, she's so much value. She's had an amazing result, got so many people to be able to, awaken themselves to the workshop. And that was all her work. There's time and value into that. And I said, hey, I owe you exchange and value. And because she loves and does it, she said, no, I only care. I just want to help these people. And I said, no, I'm going to be giving you deserve to have this, and you're going to be given it. So Eleni, make sure you give me your credit details, because I want to give you that energy value exchange, because you can't do everything for free. You need to value yourself, sister. So that's what it's about. You really need to start understanding of, don't get into business mode because you become a robot and you lose your consciousness. You have a consciousness of having that strategy. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, if I'm going to invest in this, then I'm going to get that. To be honest with you, how can you be passionate about actually investing? It's not living and breathing. You're selling something, you get a return, and you make money on it. Yeah, that is not really, value consciousness. That's just having a strategy. Buying something cheaper, selling it for more, making a profit. Well, that's a strategy, people. To be honest with you, that's just me. I don't really see that so much into, consciousness, because it's not, are you valuing yourself more? Look, in a way you would. Because you're valuing yourself, well, I'm going to put money into this because I'm valuing it, and eventually it's going to make, more money. Well, I call that business mode. Yeah, I call it strategic thinking or investing. But when we talk about money consciousness, it's not money. I just gave you a representation of that. It's about value. The more value you have and the better you get at putting value into people's lives, the more exchange you will get. So you can't just sit there and go, oh, what do I want and how am I going to get there? Because it's not just about having an income. It's about relationships. It's about building your children up. When you have a better understanding and have a higher value consciousness, everything else will start to come through. You're being true to your word, and that's very rare, and it's very honesty. Oh, thank you. Look, I know it's very rare. Doing the workshop created a space and where you surround yourself with like-minded people who say, fuck average. Yes, I love that. I made some great contacts, and I wouldn't have made otherwise. Put yourself in the circles. Exactly. And what's that last bit? I can't see it. And it was so great to have you there as well. I know even, Brody was a little bit skeptical at the start. Look, you don't blame him. People that, have probably had other people do the wrong thing by them. They will expect that, yeah? But give people a chance to prove themselves. If they prove themselves wrong, then make a decision. And, it was awesome seeing you and your partner there, man. And, happy days. And we'll keep rocking through these challenges. So people, firstly, be around people that have the consciousness, that know how to act the exchange. Get great at putting your value and your value consciousness in other people's lives and for them. And it is a bit of a battle because they know you're of high value, but they don't know they're of high value. And that's the thing is once they start respecting themselves, then they will start to respect you. Because if you're not in a great mood or if you're not loving yourself or whatever, you're not going to want to change. You're not going to want to better yourself, so on and so forth. So it's about building that belief in them, then they will want to move and they will go, oh my God, well, do you know what I'm saying? And that's what it's about. So people, get great at expanding your value, and that's what it's about. Understanding every day, being abundant in your health, your wealth, your contribution, in your family, understanding in your love, that's the biggest one. Understanding and having that consciousness of your passion and purpose, your spiritual awakening, crystals. Oh, this is what I'm talking about, 25 kilos of masculine energy activation. If you believe him or not, some people can go, that's just a stone. Well, if it's energy, a stone, God, Allah, Buddha, whatever it needs to be, as long as it works for you all. So people, go and rock that out. Send a message out to people how they're going to find that value. And that's what we do here. Understanding of growing people's internal consciousness so they become a better person and a better example of themselves. So keep getting better at your value consciousness. You'll have better relationships. You'll be respected more. You'll be bringing out the best in people. You'll be shining people's light. And that's because you have the consciousness. People will be around you and they'll go, wow. And do you know what I'm saying? You will change people's own consciousness value of themselves, not even by speaking, just from your energy vibration. So go out and keep working on that, guys. Have an amazing day. As I always say, you could be anywhere in the world right now, but you are here with me, and I appreciate that. Lee Bundy, the CEO of Team Beast Mode International, the messenger of strength and the truth. Gary, I'm glad that I gave you goosebumps and nothing else. Only kidding, mate. Perfect. I'm doing my job. Go and rock it out. Share this with people. And you know what? If you've got a team, share this with your team. If you've got a family or someone that doesn't have self-worth or wants to start something, start a relationship, just want to be seen, heard, understood, then send this to them. Share it on your pages, guys. Get the message out. Have an amazing day. I'm wracking things up and being wracking things. That's the old me. I'm wrapping things up and getting on a big tin flying can with my princess, and I'm going to be seeing Maddie G in Perth. So people that are coming to the Perth, I want to check it out. Take care. See you guys. Have an amazing day.